Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-130PM. It's a Tier 8 Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer, a premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Cliff under the command of Aurorik78. And alongside him is Hope Positive, also of SAMS, and he's in the Rheinmetall Bourrasque Waffenträger. Now they've decided to go just to the edge of the plateau, and look for enemy tanks as they cross the Western Pass. One of our guys just gone in a concept, and we can just about make out the enemy there, but I'm afraid this position wasn't a great one for getting shots at long range. Okay, they're making their way up through the cover. The SU-130PM, so a 13cm main gun, which is capable of 520 alpha, and it will penetrate with standard AP 243mm of pen. And you can see Aurorik, not using any premium ammo, has got some HE rounds, which are capable of 660 alpha and 65mm of pen. So they're quite effective against very weak vehicles, or weak armoured vehicles. And one of the enemy tanks just got wiped out of Bourrasque. Now, it's not unusual to see Aurorik in different vehicles nowadays, because yes, he is trying a lot of tank destroyers as well as medium tanks. We've got two replays for you, one in a tank destroyer, one in a medium tank. This is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks. Oh, something's about to happen, and it's happening up the... it's happening in the Western Pass first. And I think it might also be happening on the hill, up near the lighthouse. Expecting to see bomber crash into that area. Okay. Well, Hope Positive just fired a round in. We can't see anything. Oh, we just see the Jagdpanzer E100. That's all we can make out at the moment. But he's way back. I mean, long way back. That Type 57 is taking a big risk because he crossed there, right in front of where the Jagdpanzer could have actually taken a shot at him. T-49's tempting fate as well. Now, there is a lot of action going on around the cliff at the moment, and I suspect that Aurorik might have to leave this area and head up to help the T-110E4 and the Conceiver a bit further up, because there are a number of enemy tanks going round the cliff. Well, even the Jagdpanzer E100 didn't see Aurorik going past that gap. If he had seen him, one round probably would have been enough to finish him off. Based on the SU-100, this tank destroyer is the Soviet answer to the Scorpion. It's actually very vulnerable to any artillery because, of course, it's got virtually no armor whatsoever. And now he's playing... Oh, yes, unfortunately there is an Arty on the enemy team and he's looking at this area. We've got an SU-14 too. And there's his first kill, the XM57. And the other one is an FV3805. We're two up on the enemy at the moment, but of course the Bourrasque has gone down. Hope Positive was taken out by the FV3805. And they might actually try again. Okay. Leopard over there. He could be taken out with just one shot. Unfortunately, the SU-130 is not very accurate, but he did get the kill. He wasn't willing to go for just the drive wheel. It probably would have been a critical hit, but it wouldn't have been a kill shot. But he waited until the middle of the vehicle was visible, and then he put it in, and it worked. The Object 268 is giving him a side-by-side now. Oh, Arty again. Ouch. You can see the shell went right across the top of the vehicle, and it's left a mark. Not a penetrating shot, but it is a warning. Don't stay where you are. In fact, now he's going to deal with these Arty, and he pumps one in to kill the SU-14 too, but he did get spotted, and now he's vulnerable to that T-30. The T-30's not trying to attack him. Not yet, at least. You can see he has got marks of achievement on the front of the vehicle. Not just the ace tanker, but also the high caliber. No target's not there. Oh, but he does have company. And I think that hit a wreck, actually. I do believe there was a wreck parked in the way, and he wasn't able to get the shot through. Probably the wreck of the Leopard, actually, for that matter, the wreck he left behind. But he might be able to get the round through the roof of that Kampfpanzer. .268 gets wiped out. Oh, it's actually an Object 265T. This guy's trying. Waited until he was virtually side on, but he didn't get the round in. It's not got the laser accuracy of a Leopard. Or, well, the Scorpion G is not laser accurate, but it's certainly much better. This does have good accuracy, but not the sort where you can put a shot into a pinprick, and the Jaeger is coming up this way. So Aurorik's decided he needs to change position and get into cover, because the Jaeger is intent on coming up onto this western pass. And although he dealt with the SU-14 too, he hasn't dealt with the FP3805. And that guy could still be down there. And if he is, he could still be deadly. He's looking for the tracer to give him an idea where the enemy Arty is. I kind of get the feeling the FP3805 is a bit further to the west. Or to the east, actually, I should say. To his left. There he is. Yep. He was to the west, or the east rather. And one shot takes him out, but now it tells the Jaeger he's up here. Also gives him a Pascucci's medal. Oh, look, there's the T-13. He's sitting up there on the cliff. Let's put one into his rear. And 538 is a high roll. The Jaeger's gone round to deal with the 268. He went round the corner, and unfortunately we lost the 268. Can we get around into this Jaeger? Yes, we can. Oh, lovely! Gets a shot right up the rear. And that's a Halonen's medal for killing 2 enemy tanks with a tank destroyer, at least 2 tiers higher than his own. Thank you. Yes, and another kill. The T-30 bites the dust, and that's the Top Gun. Unfortunately, there's only one enemy tank left, and there it is, the DBV-152. So he can't get a Radleys, but he can certainly take this guy if he stays where he is. And although he's moving about, because of course our Arty is giving him a lot of problems, he is getting stunned. Oh, and that's it. That's the game over, and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Aurorik78 of SAMS in the SU-130PM. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. He got the Aslains medal, which is fairly difficult to get because you have to kill 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a tank destroyer in a battle, and they have to be at least 2 tiers higher than your own. And he also got a Pascucci's medal for killing 2 SPGs. And on top of that, he got the Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. Couldn't get the 7th one simply because his teammates were just too good and they got there before he could get a chance. His win rate, 6,689 out of that one, which is super unicum and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in the game was Aurorik78. He got 3,694 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was, in fact, the Aurorik78 on his team. Got wiped out by the Jaeger. He got 3,535. And the third highest was the DBV152 up in the Cypress Nest. He got 3,157 hit points. When it came to kills, Aurorik got that one too. He got 6 kills. 3 kills went to the Aurorik268 and the ST2 on his team. And when it came to base XP, yep, he got that one too. So he's got the top on all 3 columns. 1,465 means he's the only player to get over 1,000 base in the game, with the next highest one being the ST2, got 988, followed by the SU-130PM who managed to get 848, and MC2068 is not somebody I know, but he was obviously working hard. His platoon mate in this one was Hoax Positive. Unfortunately, didn't get any damage or any kills at all, mainly down to the fact that the enemy Arty could see that there were tank destroyers on the Western Pass and decided to make themselves known. And as we all know, because we're Arty players, or most of the people on this channel are, yes, whenever you get thin-skinned Arty's tank destroyers in sight, then you go at it because, of course, you can normally get pens on them, and that means they go out the game very quickly and, of course, give you a lot of hit points in the process. So let's have a look at detail. He only fired 11 shots in that game, but he got 9 direct hits and 9 penetrations. 3,694 hit points of damage, of which 2,853 were at more than 300 meters. So most of the damage at long range. 1 hit received. It was a, yes, that was a penetration. And he also got 2 hits by way of splash damage from the enemy Arty, because once they'd actually spotted him, they were trying to take him out of the game. In fact, one made a nice hole for extra ventilation on the roof of his turret, but after that lost sight of him, so he couldn't actually get any more shots in. 2 enemy vehicles were spotted, 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 were killed, and he got 691 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 267,528 credits from that game. That's a huge amount. He got 90,000 of that was mission completion, but the rest of it was just hard work. And he also got 6,812 experience points out of that one as well. So that's the end of the first game in a tank destroyer. Let's have a look at the second replay in a medium tank. The second replay is on the North spawn of Murovanka. Well, this time round, he's still with Hoax Positive in his Bourrasque, but this time round he's playing in the Bourrasque, which of course is, as you know, a combination of a Batchat 12-ton and also the EBR 105 with an autoloader, with 2-shot autoloader at that. Now it's a 105mm, and you can see he's carrying nothing but premium ammo, which is unusual, but I think he needs the extra oomph. 360 Alpha, and you can see there 240mm pen. First shot goes in, gets the second one, and the Udas rather goes down. He was actually taken out by the Renegade on the on our team. We spotted a G-Saw. Now that's the 1010, the medium tank, not the tank destroyer. There's the Noobs. Okay, side on, thank you. There we go, one in, and the second one goes in. But yep, he did actually get that one as well. So 2 shots in, and he got a low roll on the first one, but a high roll on the second. So it made it a high alpha. Well, not a high alpha, but you know what I mean. It was a positive result. Okay, units is still there. Yep, that goes in. Kill shot? Yes! First kill. Okay, there's a priority target. This is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Just saw an FV4005, the Heshbarn, or at least it's the Heshbarn as I call it, because I don't like using the other name for it, because there are children watching this and we don't want them to be using that word on a regular basis. Much rather they use something positive. Yes, it does take a little while to dial in the aim, but neither of those shots actually connected. You can see Hope Positive is actually directly behind him, but he's pushing forward past the wreck of the GeForce 1010. I think he's going to chase after that guy. Hope's Positive is staying on the edge of the forest at the moment. The forest has now been cleared. It's free and clear, and he's just going to sit there and snipe at anyone that Aurorik finds. And Aurorik is actually closing on that FV4005. He's got a Sharp Future 4 behind him, backing him up, but he's looking for targets. He's acting more like a light tank than a medium, but the Bourrasque is a combination of 2 light tanks, so technically it ought to have the same characteristics. We have a shot. First one connects, but he goes behind the houses, so we can't get another shot in. Does he pop the reload? Yes, he does. Now, the standard reload is 13.04 seconds. He's got 19.51. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. It's 12.75 seconds per shot. Oh, he got both! Unfortunately, that means the 212A died, but... And, oh, GST. And yes, he does get 1 round into us. Hoax Positive has moved up. That GST is going to be a problem for us to get to that Scorpion. It's the German Scorpion, the one with plain clothes. We've lost sight of him. So he's blind firing. Based on the down the line of sight of the last shot, or where he last saw him. And he'll do that based on the fact that the Scorpion's probably not going to push or change position, because it would actually play with his dial in. Plus, of course, he probably thinks that he's not spotted. Now the GST's in trouble, but there's the Scorpion. And he does go down, but not to us. It was actually Hope Positive who gets the kill, and we get the GST turn. And that was it. That's the end of the game. It's all over. Well, I guess you can take the light tank player out of a light tank and put him in a medium, but he still plays as if it's a light tank. In that game, Aurorik78 managed to get a first-class tanker in the Bourrasque. He also managed to get a fire throw effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. And you can see his win rate was 4,178, which is super Unicum standard. In fact, he did help Hoax Positive to get some nice juicy hit points off the targets that he was spotting. You look at those targets. He actually got 7 first spots in that game, and he did get spotting on the enemy as well. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that went to Stinger, and he got 4,862, with the second highest damage being the TVP T5051, 4,644. Third highest damage went to the MBTB with 3,931. And then we've got Aurorik after the E5 on the enemy team. He got 3,320. And then we've got Aurorik. So he's actually in 5th place when it came to damage. When it came to kills, though, you can see that he's actually up there at the top. The TVP got 3 kills. So did Aurorik78. and 2 kills went to the MBTB and the Malshan on his team. On the enemy team, there was only 2 kills, and only 2 players actually got them. When it came to base XP, because he was doing so much spotting, Aurorik got 1,322, and yet again, he's the only player to get over 1,000 base. The next highest being the TBP got 939, and remember, he's of course a tier 10, whereas Aurorik was tier 8, so he was earning extra XP for every tier 10 tank that he was hitting, and the MBTP B got 898 in that game. And we can see, where's Hoax Positive? There he is. Okay, 1,552. He did get a kill and he got 637. So yes, he's getting instruction, positive instruction from Aurorik in the game. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 15 rounds in this one. He got 11 direct hits on the enemy and 9 penetrations. 2,406 hit points of damage, of which 330 were at more than 300 meters. So most of the damage at close range. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot, I'm afraid. He also got 7 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 4,263 hit points of spotting assist in that game. So yes, he was really spotting as if he was a light tank, which is not ironic if you think about it. Yeah, 137,558 credits from the game, including the fact that yes, he was using premium ammo to have a positive effect upon the enemy. 66,000 that cost him, but he still made profit. And he also got 16,062 experience points after getting 11,898 from a mission completion. So 2 interesting battles from Aurorik78. One that he played, which was of course the TD, the SU-130PM, and he gets a bunch of medals and some nice ones too. And then he plays the Bourrasque. He gives up his medals, but he acts as the team's light tank player and manages to find the enemy for the team and get some good damage. Hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.